Welcome, folks, to our next episode of Trek Simplified. In today's episode, we will be covering the follow-up / successor to last week's ship of focus. Today, we'll be covering the Katinga class cruiser. The Katinga class cruiser was considered one of the most powerful warships in the Klingon Defense Force. The Katinga class is a variant of the D7 class, having entered service in or around 2259 after the initial D7 design had been finalized and pushed into service, when 3 ships were sent to destroy a naturally occurring subspace fold. This fold caused the ship's crews to sing after an improbability field emanated from it, which the Klingons found to be dishonorable. In the 2270s, the class underwent a reconfiguration, which saw the addition of additional armor and new nacelles. This new configuration, still based on the class's original design heritage from its D7 roots, succeeded the D7 class. In 2273, Station Epsilon 9 recorded the destruction of 3 Katinga-class vessels by the V'ger entity. Starfleet's interest in the Katinga-class cruiser was such that in 2285, the class of ship appeared in the Kobayashi Maru scenario at Starfleet Academy. By the 2290s, the Katinga-class served as a flagship of the Imperial Fleet, with one ship, Kronos 1, having carried the Klingon Chancellor to meet the Federation starship USS Enterprise A, which was to escort it to a peace conference on Earth. For nearly a century, the Katinga-class cruiser proved to be a rugged, sturdy design that saw continuous use. In that aspect, they were much like their Federation counterparts, the Excelsior class and Miranda class starships, whose usefulness outlived contemporaries such as the Constitution II class cruiser. With marked improvements, these warships saw continuous use as frontline and border patrol ships throughout the Klingon Federation War and the Dominion War of the early 2370s. They were not always the ship of choice for all missions, however, as more agile craft like the Klingon Bird of Prey were better suited for for some tasks. As for its technical data, the Katinga-class cruiser was one of the most advanced and versatile warships in the Klingon Imperial Fleet. Although the tactical effectiveness of the Katinga relative to other ships was never firmly established in true canon, it was capable of challenging a Constitution II class heavy cruiser without fear, threatening an Excelsior class cruiser in a standoff situation, and in small numbers it could inflict severe damage on an Excelsior class cruiser. As for its physical arrangement, it's basically the exact same thing as the D7. I'm not going to go over that now. It's basically the exact same thing as the D7. Go and check that out if you want to learn about that. Aside from possessing, however, a slightly sleeker shape and contour than its D7 predecessor, the most notable design variations between the two classes included a less bulbous forward section, a larger bridge dome, differently shaped or differently designed warp nacelles, and more extensive external hull plating. As for its tactical systems, the weapon systems aboard the Katinga-class cruisers included, have included phasers, disruptors, photon torpedoes, and concussive charges. The torpedo launchers included 1 torpedo tube in the forward section and 1 aft. The forward torpedo bay was located below the bridge in the foremost part of the ship, while the aft torpedo bay was located between the impulse engines. During the arming sequence, the interior perimeter of the torpedo tube area glowed a bright red until 1 or more torpedoes were fired. This class of ship was also equipped with 2 forward-mounted phasers. This ship this phaser and torpedo weaponry was considered state-of-the-art during the 2290s. They were no match for a Galaxy-class starship of the late 2360s, but were, however, more than a match for any weakly defended colony or outpost at the time. By the late 24th century, Katinga-class battlecruisers had been retrofitted to keep up with the advances of technology. In the 2370s, their forward torpedo launchers included a powerful disruptor emitter, allowing these vessels to remain formidable adversaries. As for its cloaking device, like many Klingon ships by the time, the vessels were also incorporated a cloaking device which hid them from detection in most evasive situations. Katinga-class cruisers underwent several cloak upgrades during their years of service. Those cruisers equipped with the cloaks installed prior to 2290 were known for their particular weakness of not being 100% efficient at blocking gamma radiation. Last but not least, or not last, but certainly not least, as for the propulsion systems, the warp drive of the Katinga class enabled it to reach the speed of at least warp 5. We should certainly hope so. During an encounter between the USS Enterprise D and the IKS Tong, Enterprise Chief Engineer Geordie LaForge figured that the Enterprise could probably knock out the Tong's warp engines without damaging the rest of the ship as a means of disabling the vessel. Now, last but not least, for additional systems, we have, and the interior design, we have information that some Katinga-class cruisers were equipped with cryonic technology, which allowed crews of the late 23rd century to be placed in cryogenic sleep for long voyages. That being said, as for the interior design, the primary color scheme aboard Katinga-class cruisers was distinctively earth-tone colors, such as beige and gray. In contrast to the corridors found aboard contemporary vessels, such as the Bird of Prey, these vessels were considerably more spacious in size. As for the main bridge, the configuration of the darkened main bridge design of the Katinga cruiser set the tone for many of the later Klingon bridge layouts, including the later Bird of Prey and the Vorcha cruisers. What's to come? Vorcha-class cruisers. The main bridge was located at the top portion of the forward section of the vessel, located in the front of the bridge, against the forward bulkhead, the ship's main view screen, by these, yes. Featured in the center of the bridge, on a raised platform directly behind the view screen, was the command chair, which could swivel 360 degrees. Fun little fact there. This position provided the commanding officer an unobstructed view of the screen, as well as allowed the commander to visually monitor all bridge operations. Directly behind the command chair were two man consoles. The port position had control over the view screen display and could take the ship into evasive maneuvers. As with helm controls on a Constitution II class starship. Lastly, at the rear of the bridge were two pivoting weapon targeting stations, which contained the ship's targeting systems. For the first time in our things, there's mention of a transporter room. The transporter room aboard a Katinga-class cruiser contained 5 transporter pads arranged linearly at an angle, and to the right side of the pads was the transporter control console with an operator's chair to the left of the doorway. It also had a stateroom aboard, or rather, in one particular one, the stateroom aboard the Kronos 1 was the Klingon Chancellor Gorkon's private dining and conference room. This room featured a large transparent pedestal table with an overhead chandelier set on a raised platform with surrounding chairs. I want to think that that's where Kirk and the rest of the crew in Star Trek VI got to eat blue spaghetti. And yeah, guys, that is about all of the stuff that I have on the Katinga class. As for my personal feelings on the Katinga, much like the D7, it's a tough ship. It's up to date. It's more. It lasted longer, and frankly, I think that for the sheer amount of time that it was in service, I think it runs with the best of them. So if I gave the last one a 4 out of 5, I would have to give this one a 4.1 out of 5. So thumbs up. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please remember to, and you're watching this on YouTube, please remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell icon so you never miss an episode, and leave a comment down below telling me which do you prefer, the D7 or the Katinga? Tell me down below which one you prefer and why. I would love to hear why. That being said, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Remember to be excellent to yourselves, and I bid you good night, good luck, and as always, boldly go. May you boldly go. May you boldly go. Have a good night, guys. Thanks for watching, folks. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell icon so you never miss an episode. Secondly, if stream bucks are plentiful, please consider supporting the channel either by subscribing on Twitch, pledging on Patreon, or by grabbing some merch over at the Shock Shop. The links to all of these will be in the About section and in the description down below. Again, thank you to all of our supporters for all of the likes, shares, and views. I really appreciate it, and without all of you, our work here would not be possible. I'm Michael Shockman, folks. I've been your host and commentator, and remember, keep it real, keep it safe, keep it healthy, and we will see you guys all again soon in the next one. Peace off, everybody.